Namaste. Welcome to this short somatic releasing practice for the lower legs. A few weeks ago, we did this in classes, both online and in person, and I realized that I hadn't recorded a short practice of this so that you could use it whenever you need to. So I want to combine in this really short video a little bit of fascial release with a little bit of somatics. So I think I would recommend a ball, a smooth ball for this practice. It could be a tennis ball, it could be something like a rolling pin. If you've got one of those massaging foot rollers that's not too spiky, one of those would do as well. But I'm going to use this ball, and I like the lacrosse balls because they're really firm, but they've got a touch of give. And we're going to start the practice by placing the ball underneath the ball of the sole of the foot, not the ball of the foot, and rolling the sole of the foot around on the ball. Now, I am going to move rather more swiftly through this practice than I would recommend, simply because I'm trying to fit in recording this before Thursday night's class. But if you have the time to spending about 3-4 minutes on each foot, rolling the sole of the foot all over the ball. And you can roll right to the pads of the toes, all the way across the ball of the foot and into the center of the foot and across the heel as well. And we've done this in class a few times, so you guys probably know what you're doing, but particularly that sort of almost ironing type of movement backwards and forwards across the length of the sole to the edges as well as down the center of the foot is really useful. And once you stand onto both feet, you'll be able to feel the effect on the sole of your foot. And what this does is it begins to release tension from the fascial train that comes from the underneath of the toes right up the back of the body to the head. And that has an effect, swapping sides, that has an effect on all of the muscles and joints and organs that it's attached to. So that's a piece of tissue that connects to every muscle and joint and the organs through the abdomen as well as into the back of the body, the lungs, right through, as I said, to the head. And if we can release a little bit of the tension that we hold in these fascial trains, we get an easing of stiffness and postural tension in other places in the body as well. So if you want to free your hips, or if you want to be able to touch your toes and you find that that's a little bit more challenging, then easing some of this fascial tension can be a really useful thing to try. See if it works. Try it a few times, not just once. So a little bit of rolling on this foot as well. And then we'll be ready to do a little fascial, not fascial release, somatic release. So when you've done both feet, just taking a moment to stand on your feet, feel the effect in the soles of the feet. And we're not looking for super intense pressure into the ball. It's like a relatively light massaging effect. So hopefully your feet feel warmed, maybe slightly wider, more stable, more connected down into the floor. And that's exactly what we're after. So if you've had a ball, put it to one side, somewhere where it's not going to roll and affect your practice, but also where you're unlikely to trip over it. That would be great. So now we've done this practice, you could take the time to check to see if it's easier for you to reach your toes before moving on to the somatics. But for the somatics, we're going to stand with the feet underneath the hips. It doesn't matter if it's slightly wider than your hip joints, but not too close together. Find a point of focus ahead of you that's not moving, or if you find balance challenging, use a chair or the wall or a table. And then we're going to come up onto the tiptoes as high as we can. I like to use my arms for a little bit of extra balance. And then holding here at the top, breathing in And as you exhale, slowly lower the heels down for about the count of 10. I'm lowering but not counting on this first round. And remembering that you can breathe in again and out again if you need to. When you get to the bottom, just softening the knees a little bit, maybe once or twice. You can shake out your legs if you have got a bit of tension in them. And then take a big deep breath in and sigh out. And that has the effect of letting go of any tension we haven't noticed, just rising to the surface to the point of letting go. And we'll do it 2 more times. So nice, and try not to be too rigid in your body. So you don't need to force your tummy muscles in, just a nice gentle lift. Find your point of focus, float the heels up, come to the top of your tiptoes, so as high up as you comfortably can. Take a deep breath in and lower for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels touch down, a little soft bend of the knees, maybe a little shake of the legs. Deep breath in. Sigh out anything that you've got there to release. 1 more time like this. Find your point of focus, come up to the top of your tip-tip-toes and take a deep breath in, lowering down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice soft bend of the knees. And it's that slow release of the muscles, so lengthening as you hold a weight, which muscle is holding your body weight off the floor, that allows that resetting of this is my muscle relaxed message to the brain. This is my muscle working. So, little shake out of the legs, deep breath in. Very good. And if you want to, you can try something like a downward dog, which would give you an indication of whether that has improved the normal length that you find or the release that you find, or indeed any other posture that you find challenging because of shortness in the back of the legs. Now we're going to take 2 blocks and we're going to place them not super far apart, but relatively far apart, so we can stand on the blocks and the heels can be just slightly off the blocks. And we want the blocks to be at least hip width apart so that we don't overbalance. And again, you can use a wall or chair for support. And then this time we're going to come up onto the tiptoes. We're going to bend the front knee just a touch. We can bend the front back knee as well if you like to. And again, it's the same thing, taking a deep breath in, nice and high on the tiptoes, and as you exhale, lowering the heels for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels are down, maybe just a touch lower than they would be if you were stood on the floor. You can come off the blocks, give the legs a little bit of a shake, take a deep breath in. Sighing out. And we can do this 2 more times on this side. So just letting the heels hang off the blocks, coming a little soft bend in the front knee, almost like you're doing a lunge, coming up onto your tiptoes, use your point of focus, deep breath in here, and lowering for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels touch the floor, or touch the not floor, step off the blocks, give the legs a little shake out. Last time, on this side anyway. So, setting yourself up, point of focus, a little lift, a little bend in the front knee, coming up onto your tiptoes, and lowering for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Fantastic stuff. In between, just giving the legs a little bit of a shake. We're going to swap the blocks around, the other block forward and backwards. And do make sure that you do alternate sides. I turned around the first time and found that I was doing the same thing, but it's all good. Sometimes I'm a little ditzy. When you're ready, coming onto the blocks for this side, finding your point of focus, bending the front knee a little, coming up onto your tiptoes as high as you can. Deep breath in. Lowering for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Come off the blocks just to give the legs a little shake out. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and then we'll do it 2 more times. Woohoo! So very focused on your point of focus, soft in the front knee, coming up onto your tiptoes, breathing in, breathing out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely job. Coming off the blocks, giving the legs a shake. That releasing breath. You'd be amazed how much you can let go of with your breath. And our last time, nice and focused, a little lift as you come up onto your tiptoes, deep breath in. Lowering as you exhale, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Coming off the blocks, giving the legs a little shake, taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. And you can then try something like a forward bend. I always like to reach up before I fold forward. So a forward bend just to see, oh, that feels really fantastic in the backs of the legs. Maybe you're a little bit lower than you were before. Maybe you're not, it's fine. You can always soften the knees. Remember, try to avoid pulling in the low back. And then stepping back and giving your downward dog a go. I haven't done a downward dog today yet. And this is super comfortable with the heels on the floor. Perhaps yours are even a touch closer than before. And whenever you're ready, give yourself a little bit of a rest. I hope you found this useful, this somatic and fascial release practice together. And I'll see you for another video sometime soon. Namaste.